Welcome back to the channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you already not. And to find out what happens, make sure you watch the whole video. Let's get right into it. So Boosie went back down to Cali and everything because he had to take care of his Fed case. He just got that case dismissed. But once he went down there, he parked his car. People already noticed it was a rapper and everything like that. They just didn't get a good look to see if it was Boosie. So while he went in the courthouse, they ran through his car. He parked it somewhere by a restaurant. Dudes ran up. They went and pretty much they hit his window because they got them one things now where they hit the window with the little thing and it makes the whole window go out. So they jumped in. You could see it was people had a picture of a dude with his legs sticking out while he was grabbing a lot of the stuff in Boosie's back seat because Boosie went shopping in LA just like all the rappers do on Rodeo Drive, and he was trying to make it to his hearing. Once he got to his hearing, he left all the bags in his car. He left out everything in the cup holder and all that. So once the people went by and they peeked in, they seen it was a whole lot of stuff in there. So a lot of people, they were like, okay, well, I ain't got it, so I'm gonna have to get it from over there. So that's pretty much what they did. And you got to understand that in Cali is all the rappers are pretty much getting targeted, followed and everything, because this is the same way that they got Pop Smoke, was because they seen he had this items from going shopping and they left the address on the receipt and everything like that. So this is when there's a lot of rappers, they need to learn and they need to figure out how to move a certain type of way, because Boosie could have just went and handled business and he could have had a driver drop him off. He didn't have to park and ride in the Maybach like that and everything. So basically they caught him slipping because they're waiting for it. A lot of these rappers, like, they're getting pretty much targeted for their jewelry. Whenever they go to an Airbnb, whenever they're staying and they go to a big town like LA, it's usually a lot of the street dudes that are looking out for rappers and rich people coming in, especially the people that ain't gonna call the police or 12 because they know how Boosie is. He gotta keep the street image. So if something happened to him where people robbed him or something like that, then most likely he not gonna call the police because he's trying to keep this image where he don't mess with them and he don't need their help and none of that stuff. And so this is the main thing. And a lot of people that was with Boosie, they could have set it up too. Boosie got to pay attention and watch with the company he keeps around him, because it's all of these things that keep happening to Boosie every time he comes to LA, San Diego, anything like that. It's already bad enough that the people he was with last time went on live and put him in the recording footage literally with stuff that he's prohibited with being around. Like, they're not supposed to have no straps around Boosie. That was one of his conditions of being released on probation. And so when that video that leaked from IG, and it showed that he was with members outside and he had the blick and the dude next to him had the blick. And so this was a bad look on him because he's not just hanging out with it, but he got it in his hand. And so this is why at first they were thinking of giving Boosie 5 years Fed time for that. But he just went down with his lawyer and everybody else that's on his team, and they went to go to the hearing, and luckily he got it dismissed. So he must have did some sort of condition of him being able to get that dismissed. He must have went to some type of training, some type of course where they rehabilitated him to make sure that he's not going to be doing that again, because a lot of times this is the type of plea deals and the proffer agreements that they be given to these rappers and these street dudes, is that they tell them, you know what, we'll let this charge get dropped and dismissed, but you have to do this for us, and you got to go over here and tell us about this. And so there could have been another situation like that. But we also have to keep in mind that Boosie, he was literally going all around the country doing show after show, night after night, not even sleeping, literally trying to get all the money up to pay for his law team and this whole thing, because it's a lot of money that he has to dish up in order for him to get this case dismissed. He's got to pay at least 5 to 6 different attorneys and everything, because he's already has a bad criminal record. So when they looked at and brought his file up, they were like, man, Boosie, for us to be able to get you out of this jam, and you already caught a a body and you already did this and that and everything, then they say you have to pay over $1 million. And so this is why Boosie was trying to come up with $1 million in 48 hours too, because he had a lot of people with eyes on him that was out to get him after the Duke the Jeweler situation. And him being involved with all that after his concert and the missing jewelry, and he really needed the money at that time. And so this is when people were thinking, did Boosie set up the jeweler so that he could get money for his lawyers and everything like that? Because what was it that was so like such a due date that was coming so quick on Boosie that he had to do something like that? A lot of people think that he only had 2 days to really get that $1 million, or else he was going to end up getting sentenced and everything. Like, they would have brought him back to the court and told him like he had to sit down, and they wouldn't have gave him no type of bond or nothing like that. But in order for him to get the bond and not have to be down for the seasons waiting for the judge and everything, they pretty much say he had to up $1 million. So a lot of these times, these rappers, when they going on shows and they going on tours and meet and greets, and they charging a lot of money for all of these different activities and entertainment, what's really going on is they could be in a predicament or a situation where they got to come up with millions of dollars, whether they got to pay for this, pay for that, something in their past came back up on them, or something that they kept pushing to the side, finally is like alert, like, or immediately has to be taken care of right now. So this is what caused them to pretty much go through certain lengths, like even setting somebody up or having to go resort back to what they used to do or making a play or anything like that, because it was a bad situation. That, like, Boosie, he should have pretty much kept his whole image clean and together, not gotten in any trouble. He should have took care of making sure he got his money first and not been around all these people who got him in trouble and everything like that. So if Boosie would have just been stacking his paper up and not going to Cali and being around the members and getting caught on that live and almost catching the case off of that and almost being put away for 5 years, he could have just been he could have been just stacking up millions and millions and just sitting on that, doing his investment and everything. But he's putting himself at risk, and all the rappers are, by going to the places where you got to check in. And like, a lot of these times, if it ain't for work and if it ain't for making money or something like that, they shouldn't even be there hanging around, because it's always going to be people who's looking out for somebody who's got it so that they could take it from them, man. Especially when it's like, sometimes it be your own fans, it be people who look like you and everything like that. Because when they targeted Boosie, is because they knew he was a rapper, and they knew that it was going to be a certain way that he was going to handle it, to where he wasn't going to immediately try to reach for the phone, and try to Charleston White it. That's why they couldn't get Charleston White, is because Charleston White would have had the 12 and the feds pull up on him, and he would have gave a statement, testimony, and he would have came to court and pointed out the suspect and everything like that. But they know Boosie wasn't going to do that, and that's why they went to try to get him instead. And because of the fact that he's not from LA, he was not from that area, so a lot of people, they're just looking at it like, okay, you know what? They're either never going to see him again, or they think that this is a way to make a name for themselves, because they could get clout off of saying, oh, I'm the one who took down Boosie, or this, that, and the third. And so this is why the rappers have a very, very dangerous job, and they always got to have their head on a swivel and make sure that they're staying on their P's and Q's and basically checking everything around them in their surroundings and being aware, so that they can make it to the next spot, and the next spot keep getting their money, so on and so forth. So for Boosie to have that happen to him, it's a sad situation, but also for him, it's like, congrats on him beating that case and everything like that, because everybody was wondering, were they gonna take Boosie and lock him down and everything. And people were waiting and wondering, are they ever gonna see him again? And they were trying to catch him in a show for the last time and all that. So let me know what y'all think about this, and make sure you guys come back for all the updates.